Hello, welcome to Have a Tea with me. My name is Chris. We are here for English language conversation practice. If you are learning English, you want to practice your speaking and conversation skills, we are here for you. Every day, Monday to Friday at around 12 o'clock. Yeah, 12 o'clock Universal Time. We are here for you. If you want to participate, all you need to do is to click on the link that you see in the chat, in the conversation area. And if you click on that, you come through to the studio, and you can have a chat with us live here. And so we're here for you to help build your confidence speaking English, so that hopefully you become more confident. The things you need to practice or work on in English, you can do that. Maybe there's some new vocabulary or language that you've used that you need a way to practice. So we're happy to do that. Maybe there's a particular situation that's coming up in your life. We can help with that as well. So we are here if you would like to practice your English language speaking and conversation skills. Um, if you're watching on the replay and you're thinking this time is not a good time for you, you can always send us an email, chat on lessonjigsaw@gmail.com. You can send us an email, let us know where you are, what part of the world you're in, your time zone, and then we can see if we can arrange a time to have a live stream, have a chat, and do that with you. You're more than welcome to do that. So when this broadcast is being done, so now, I guess, this is the 19th of April, Tuesday the 19th of April, in most parts of the world, in 2022. How is your week so far? I guess the week is still fairly young. I like that. So the week is still fairly young. Fairly young. So I guess we have two words here that could be interesting or tricky sometimes. So still is like remaining as it was before. So whatever the situation was before, that situation is the same, or that situation remains. And that situation in this sentence is young. So the week is young, and it's still young because it's day two or day three, depending on if you start the week on a Sunday or a Monday. But either way, still fairly young. So fairly is like more or less, in a way, more or less. So I hope you're having a good week. I'm having a lemongrass tea at the moment. I'm fine. Oops. Okay, got to be careful with that. Okay. So the lemongrass tea is actually quite relaxing. I'm finding it's a good tea. They're probably, if I had to list my two favorite teas, I'd probably say the maca tea and the lemongrass. They're very, very nice. I do have some, I guess, more traditional favorites as well, but those two are lovely. They are lovely. So when we're thinking of practicing English, if we can't think of what to say, or we're not sure sort of how to expand a topic, we always suggest using the question words. So think of who, what, when, where, why, how, and any other question you can create to, I guess, initially develop whatever you're talking about. So you could ask sort of like the basic questions like who is it, or what is it about, when will it happen, or when did it happen. It depends, of course, if the thing you're talking about is in the past, the future, or the present, of course. And so asking sort of the general questions, and then letting the conversation develop and grow and go wherever it goes, as conversations do. I'm sure exactly like you do in your native language. So yes, and so we can use different things, of course, to as the stimulus for the conversations, like you do. So you have things like if you're reading like a newspaper or a magazine, or here we have like an example of um, a news website. Yeah, so you can get different pieces of information, looking just at the photos, looking at the headlines, actually going into the stories. For first, I guess you could guess what the details of the story are from the headline, and then go into the actual story and see if what you thought was correct. And then from those details as well, ask more questions, and you could, I guess, question and ponder. Good, nice word there. So you can question. So to question and ponder. Ponder is like when you think for an amount of time, not specific like number in terms of like minutes or hours or whatever, but you think about it. So you question, think, and of course in terms of conversation practice, we need to speak. So while I'm here by myself, I will question and ponder verbally about different things. So we can have like the news sort of stories as well, that which we just saw, or we can just have images. And this image here is okay. What is this? I guess, and this is a jigsaw puzzle, all messed up, but a jigsaw puzzle. Similar, I guess, like the channel name, Lesson Jigsaw. So it's like the pieces are all mixed up, and we've got to put the pieces together to create a picture, to form the picture. So yes, but a jigsaw puzzle. And now you're thinking, okay, so it's a picture of a jigsaw puzzle. What questions, or what can I talk about? Well, I guess the two most obvious questions for a jigsaw puzzle might be. So if we look at our question words, I don't know, if I'm thinking of or someone tells me about a jigsaw puzzle, I guess the two most obvious things for me are how many pieces are in the jigsaw. Let's get that down. So how many pieces are in the jigsaw? You can say jigsaw or jigsaw puzzle, either way. So how many pieces are in the jigsaw puzzle, and what picture or image is made or created or formed, whatever word you want to use. So let's even expand that. So when you put the pieces together, let's see if that shows up. You put the pieces, and you almost see pieces. Let's see if we get the whole piece. There we go. Okay, so what picture or image is made when you put the pieces together? Put them together. And with this jigsaw, I have absolutely no idea what it would be. It looks as though it could be some type of it could just be like a random image, like a painting or a drawing, sketch, or whatever that someone has done with obviously lots of colors. It could also be something like a photo, maybe a photo of, I guess the obviously might be say something like a sunset, because you see like the yellows, the blues, and that sort of thing. So it could be a sunset, could be a desert as well. Might be a desert. I'm not sure. The amount of pieces, it looks like a lot from here. It could be this is not just the one puzzle, but they've mixed a few puzzles together. It's possible. But I think, I'm not sure what the biggest jigsaw puzzle is. Okay, now let's get that down. So I'm not sure what the biggest jigsaw puzzle is. Now, of course, you can see this construction. No, that's actually, I'll put a question mark there, but of course it's not a question. So it's a statement, because I'm not sure. I think I need to fix this up. I always do that. Okay, but the question is, what is the biggest jigsaw puzzle? And then you might add to that to say, like, ever made, something like that. So yes, puzzle instead of puzzle. And so you can see, I guess the point what I'm showing here is, what you can see is it sort of looks like a question there, but it's not. You're saying it like imagine you have the actual answer. If you have the actual answer after this question word, you would say the biggest jigsaw puzzle is blah blah blah. Might be like 5,000 pieces or something like that. Well, of course, I'm thinking, I guess, in terms of biggest in terms of the amount of pieces. It could also be in terms of area that it covers. It could be like 3 or 4 pieces and it covers a huge area. But anyway, it depends on how you're measuring, I guess. So just to make a note, so you're saying this like a positive, or it could be like a negative sentence. But of course, here we have the classic question formation with the verb to be here in the middle. So is here. Well, anyway, okay. So, and of course, this is what we call an indirect sentence or indirect question, perhaps, because we say something before the question word. An indirect question would be maybe something like, do you know what the biggest jigsaw puzzle is? So it's just, I guess it's something you just need to be careful. If you say something before the question word, even if it's a question before the question word, you have to be, I guess, mindful of how you arrange the rest of the sentence. So like here. So you wouldn't want to say, do you know what is the biggest jigsaw puzzle? That would have to be 2 separate questions. So you have like a little gap. Do you know what is the biggest jigsaw puzzle? But do you know what the biggest jigsaw puzzle is? Okay, so we need to be mindful of how we complete the sentence. It's a nice combination, to be mindful of something, to be mindful of, to be thinking about it, to have it present, like at the front, if you like, the front of our mind. I think of that, to be mindful of something. Okay, so I don't know how many pieces. This is, I think, probably the most common size, the most common big size that you can see, like in a shop, just to regularly buy, is probably 1,000. I can't think I've seen a puzzle just normally in the shops bigger than 1,000 that I can think of. But I don't know for sure. But that's if I had to just imagine off the top of my head. Again, let's get that. It's a nice sort of expression. So that's without any further research, just from what I know, what I remember, anecdotally even. Anecdotally. Anecdotal in terms of the thing. So it's anecdotal, is just sort of no actual evidence. It's just from my memory of my stories and so forth. I can't remember what I was, okay, from the top of my head. From the top of my head. From? What's on my head? Is it off the top of my head? It's probably better. Yeah, off the top of my head. Off the top of my head, that's what I remember. But I'm very sure there are other jigsaw puzzles of a bigger size in terms of pieces. So biggest. I wonder if I'll do a quick search. I won't show you. Okay, so the biggest jigsaw puzzle ever was over. It didn't actually say the amount. It said 40,000 pieces. That's according to Guinness, apparently. Okay, so they have the biggest in terms of pieces and also the largest. So there was one, it's only about 4 years ago in Dubai. See if I can, let me see if I can show you that. Let me just move this around. It's quite interesting. So have a look at this. So we've got, actually I need to show you that. Okay, so we've got here, so we've got the biggest jigsaw in terms of pieces. So we have 40,000 pieces, memorable Disney moments. So that's the one from just now. This is not from from Ravensburger is the website. So it's not actually from the Guinness website. So it could be that there's another one, but that's the latest from the website. But I guess, can we trust Google to have found the most accurate result, even though this is saying the website says that? I don't know, maybe. Now, but then they also, you see they've used largest here, I guess, to differentiate with size. It was achieved by DMCC. I'm not sure what DMCC is, but anyway, they did it. And it's like, so, and we can see that. So it's only 12,320 pieces, but the size is quite large. So 6,122 and a little bit square meters. It's quite large, isn't it? It's quite a big area. So the pieces, I wonder, so I could probably do a calculation how big the pieces are, but let's not do the biggest maths. Oh, hold on. Oh, okay, so this is why it's so while the top Google results tells us that it's okay, so that's what this is. Okay, so this is the largest commercially made puzzle. Okay, so this is you have this is like when you have stats, particularly for sports, when it's like, I don't know, the most goals, for example, if we're talking about football, the most goals are in a particular country or in a particular stadium or against a particular team, and so you have all finer results. So this is the largest commercially made, so one you can buy in the shops effectively. And 44 pounds, how big is 44 pounds? So it's like almost 20 kilos. So that 20 kilos to carry. Okay, that's a heavy jigsaw puzzle. I wonder if they could make it from, or maybe they did change the material so it's a bit lighter, maybe, I don't know. But I wonder if there's any material they can make a little bit, more portable. Okay, so that's the largest commercially made one. This is the biggest. The one in Dubai is the one in terms of area, and overall in terms of pieces, it seems to be in Vietnam, in Ho Chi Minh City, 2011, 551,232 pieces. That's a lot. Okay, and see, it's actually it's probably the normal size of the pieces, whereas that largest one in Dubai would have large pieces for the puzzle. This one in in Vietnam looks to just be like normal size pieces because it's about, let's say, 14.85. So let's say 15 meters by 23.2 meters. I said by, yeah. So it's like like we say, times or multiplication. So what was the measurement? So 15, let's say 15 by 23. So 15 times 23 meters. So that's say by. So no, that I'll show that after. Okay, and so and 1,600 students, 1,600 or 1,600. So we can say 1,600 students, or 1,600 students. Again, you can't see this, but I'll show you in a second. So you just got two different ways of saying that number. So which number are you thinking? This one here. So 1,600 or 1,600 students. Okay. So yes. Okay. So, and it was okay. And it was at a stadium, of course, you can imagine. Although if it's at a university, interesting, it was by the University of Economics. I wonder if that's the economics class did that. I wonder if they were, if that was like part of a social activity, or if that was some sort of let's say an experiment to see market research, perhaps, to see how much attention they could get, and if they could maybe sell the pieces afterwards or something. As economic students, I don't know. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. So yeah. Okay. So that's a lot of pieces. It's still a big size anyway, isn't it? So yes, interesting. So let's take that away. We'll bring the jigsaw back. I'll show you the what I typed, and we can go from there. Okay. So as we were saying, so 15. You say 15 times 23, but if you're giving the measurement, like for an area, we tend to say 15 by 23. So particularly if we're talking about area, we would say that. Whereas if you say 15 times 23, it's a normal multiplication, let's say. And that's, I guess we'd say, squared. Now, I'm not sure on my keyboard how to do the 2 up above. There is a way to do it, but I can't remember how. But anyway, so you could have like the little 2 above the M. And then the 1 comma. In English, we do comma, of course, between the set of 3 numbers for the like thousands, and then going to millions and so forth. We do the comma. And I know in other languages they do dots, but we only do the dot, and then we have decimals after that. And when we say the decimals, I guess interesting thing to say, we say the numbers individually. So this would be 1,600.003445, etc. Except for currency, this would be $1,600.23. So we only say the whole number, if you like, if it's currency. So if it was like dollars or something, we would do that. But anyway, so this number is 1,600 students, or 1,600 students are involved they were involved in doing that, the jigsaw. Let's have a look at, shall we, maybe some of these stories. It's like, I guess, like we always say with some of these news stories, some of the problems can be, it's always sad stories, if you like. And And of course, the story with what's happening in the Ukraine is very high on the list, and very very common for people to see. And you can see, I guess, here they've also sectioned off. So you have the subheadings at the top, or the different areas, so you can get different information. And with the more, you have more areas to look at. And I guess if we want to look at happy news, perhaps we can look at something like style or travel, and that sort of thing might be the safest for happy news. Entertainment can be, and also cannot be, or might not be. So there are different things. So they've got a podcast where they're talking about the war, the tug of war. So you think of like the rope, and people pulling a rope from the two different sides of the rope and trying to pull the person or the other people to one side. So it could be like, one person on each side, or you could have like a group of people in a tug of war. That's a literal tug of war with a rope, but here we're talking about, I guess, in terms of the war and a particular side of that. We got photos in relation to the war in Ukraine, information about helping Ukraine, talking about Shanghai and I guess the lockdown situation there in terms of COVID. A story about Cristiano Ronaldo. I saw a thing just here before, somewhere. Not sure where it is, but somewhere. I thought I saw it, but maybe it's gone now. But I thought there was something. But anyway, for Love and Thunder, I'm going to guess that's a movie. It could be a book, but I'm going to guess that's a movie. And for some reason, Taco Bell is in the news. I'm not sure why, but maybe something happened at Taco Bell. Hopefully it's a good story. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So it's okay. And then we've got the sports stories. Looks like there's a story there. You can see on the right, picture of Ashley Barty, and going to tennis. So she could be. It could be interesting. I wonder, because there's not many. You don't really have many national teams. I'm not sure if there's a national team tournament for golf. I'm sure there might be somewhere, but I know there's ones where you have like groups, where you have like the world against, I think it's the world against USA and Europe against USA. I think seem to be the two bigger tournaments. But I'm not sure if you have individual countries. I'm not sure why there wouldn't be. I mean, it seems a logical thing to have, but I'm not sure. But if there is, I was going to say no, but she didn't actually. I was going to say she played maybe for Australia, but she didn't play for Australia in cricket, I think. So, anyway, so that takes that story away. But anyway, now this I think could be, if we're looking for like a story that is not necessarily happy or sad, it's just sort of indifferent and can sort of like bring a bit of a smile, or it's a bit sort of different. Japan researchers develop electric chopsticks to enhance salty taste. Now that could be a potentially great story. Now, geez, I don't know, just from that image, I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to be eating with my wrist with a battery unit I guess that's the way it has to be, is that I guess they want a live charge going in there. I guess, I'm not sure, but I guess at this stage they don't have the battery unit inside the chopsticks. Maybe the chopsticks would be too heavy and they would be uncomfortable. If we ask the question, why do they have the separate battery units? And yes, and I'm not sure if it's when where if the, like say, the custom in Japan is to hold the bowl when you're eating. I guess I'm going to assume it's rice and something in there, I suppose, as opposed to a soup, let's say. But I assume maybe that's the custom, to hold the bowl as opposed to leaning over and picking something up with the chopsticks. But yeah, okay. And so it looks as though the metallic end is only at that bottom chopstick. I'm not sure if you can see there. So that metallic end there. Now, how exactly it works, I don't know. It's interesting reflection though. You can see I guess the camera and the person taking the photo of the reflection of that bowl. It's a little curiosity. But anyway, okay. So that could be okay. So I'm completely wrong, of course. So in this case, it looks like I think that's a miso soup, isn't it? I guess that's the most common soup in Japanese restaurants or when having Japanese food. But I think it's a miso soup. It looks that way. Please tell me if I'm wrong or if you disagree. I think it's a miso soup, and because you can only get like the green bits and the white bits using the chopsticks. You can't really have the soup, of course. But I wonder if this technology could also be translated to or adapted to other instruments, such as a spoon or a fork when eating. Because I guess all of them are ones you put in the mouth when delivering the food. So researchers claim, so it's a bit bigger here. Researchers claim, you can't see that. Researchers claim that chopsticks can help enhance the perception of how salty food tastes by 1.5 times. Interesting. So I wonder if that means, thinking of it in an alternative way perhaps, or another way, is that I wonder if potentially that means you could have less salt in something, but the sensation you get is that it is saltier than it actually is, or than the amount you've put in. And so therefore people may consume less salt, or may need to add less salt to get a sufficient salty flavor. I wonder if that's a thing. And now here's a now this I think we have to sort of look at something like this a little bit later. Now this is the company or the person or the lab. Now this is a great sentence here. This is a sentence from, if you know, I guess, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. This sort of thing is the thing you can imagine. So he's also developed a lickable TV screen that can imitate various food flavors. Okay, that's what you want, isn't it? Now, yeah. I guess there's lots of things to think about that potentially, but interesting. Oh, okay. So maybe it is for that purpose that I was talking about. So excess sodium intake, sodium being salt, is related to increased incidence of high blood pressure, strokes, and other ailments. So maybe that is the point, to reduce the amount of salt that people take. And here looks like a guy taking it. So I guess, I wonder if it's just someone who has a very sensitive tongue, and they can go, yes, that tastes saltier, or if there's an actual test, like if they can measure it somehow. Like, I'm not sure how you do that. Maybe there's some sort of reaction on the tongue or somewhere else when you have a certain amount of salt, and you can tell how much salt there is by this reaction or something. Perhaps, I'm not sure if that's how they measure it, or if it's just the person goes, yeah, that tasted saltier or something. But I'm sure if they say it's 1.5 times as salty, I'm sure there's an actual definite measurement that they make. Okay, I guess that's it for that story. Okay, so I guess that's an interesting story to consider and read about, and certainly that could be a springboard, shall we say, a springboard for further conversation. A springboard, so like something like you're jumping into a swimming pool, okay, but you have the board, a springboard, the one that moves, a springboard for or to further conversation. It could potentially be. Okay, so just a quick reminder, this is Have a Tea with me. We are here on the Lesson Jigsaw channel, and we are here for you for English language conversation practice. You want to practice your speaking or conversation skills, we are here for you 12 o'clock Universal Time, Monday to Friday. And all you need to do is to click the link that you'll see in the chat, and then with that you can come on through to the studio and chat with us live when we're on, when we're streaming. If that's not a good time, always send us an email, or you can send us an email, chatonlessonjigsaw@gmail.com. If you send us an email, we can see if we can find a time that's suitable for you to do a live stream. So let us know your time zone and some days and times when it's better for you to chat, and we can see if we can arrange that time. We might leave it there for today. It has been the 19th of April edition, I guess we could say, 2022, of Have a Tea with me. Thank you very much for watching, liking, subscribing, following, all that sort of stuff. Thank you very much. And we will see you in the next edition. Thank you very much. We will see you next time. Take care. See you later.